Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. We are live, 9:01 p.m., third day of July, the year 2020. And this is something to talk about. We've got some things to talk about tonight. I'm going to try to be on for about an hour. And I want to thank everybody for joining me. If you happen to be watching on YouTube, hop into the chat. We will be in chat as we're going to be showing some videos. If you're watching on Facebook and you want to get in the chat, you can leave a comment on Facebook. You can leave a comment on Twitter, on the other platforms. If you want to get into the chat, we need you to come to come to YouTube, American Doofus channel at YouTube. And the show is something to think about. And we got more than one thing to think about tonight. The first thing I want us to ask ourselves is, why did CNN not post anything at all about the Jalen Walker shooting until today? It happened last Monday. And today at 1 p.m., the body cam footage came out. In the first release of body cam footage came out in a press conference. I watched that live. And I have not seen the other body cam footage. We're going to watch that together. It's going to watch and react together here. That's why I said, if you want to get into the chat, please come to YouTube, and also subscribe if you would like. Leave a comment if you're in the chat. If you're watching the replay of this, leave a comment below and let me know what you're thinking. CNN had nothing on this at all. None of the major mainstream media did for 7 days up until today. The body cam footage was released at 1 p.m. I said the other night in our episode, mainstream will pick this up after the fact. And it's because they were trying to control the situation, and they released it at 1 p.m. this afternoon, when absolutely the majority of people were out doing things on an extended 4th of July weekend. They knew what they were doing when they released it. Thus far, the only protests have been in Akron, Ohio. No other cities are protesting at the moment, because not a lot of people knew about this in advance. If you watch my program, we've known about this for several days, and we've been talking about it. But the word is just starting to circulate around the country as to what happened. And regardless of seeing footage or not, if you hear 8 white police officers shot 90 bullets at a 25-year-old black man that was unarmed and hit him 60 times. Okay. These are facts. These aren't things just making up. The medical examiner said he had 60 different bullet wounds. All you have to do is hear that. You don't have to see the footage to know that there's going to be righteous indignation amongst the black community and amongst the allies of the black community. And this is just a little bit of the protest, as I said. This comes from CO Life 2 on Facebook. He was on earlier, and everything's been peaceful thus far, and the protesters are trying to maintain a peaceful environment because that is the wish of the family. And okay, let's go to another look here. The guy that is everywhere, Ford Fisher, he literally covers so many different things. He was there for 3 hours and 15 minutes. Either he got into a situation, and we're not going to show the whole thing, obviously, for copyright purposes and for time purposes. Ford either got into got into a place where he couldn't get signal anymore, or his batteries died, but he just suddenly cut off. And I don't know if I'm going to check back on here as our live is going along to see if he comes back on. And I've got my phone here. I should get a notification if he does pop back up to cover the protest, because the protest was growing as this feed ended, and is supposed to go into the night. So we will see if we can get some of that. In the meantime, here's how things kicked off after the body cam footage was released. And again, I haven't seen the other. All I saw was what was in the press conference. We'll go watch that together here in just a couple of minutes.
Because we must unite and fight together. This is a war. We are at war. I'm not here to sing Kumbaya. I'm not here to say the next plan. I'm here to say right now that we must stand up. We must be heard. Sometimes you want to fight with your hands, but you must learn how to fight with your words. We don't accept anything that these people have been saying in this building, because that young man was a black light. That young man mattered. That man mattered to his mother and his father, his grandmother, his uncle, his nieces, his nephew, his cousins. He mattered. But if we don't unite and fight,
okay,
we
well,
think across the traditional disciplines that you've heard of.
I didn't know Ford had ads on Facebook.
these same cats that are in this wall, right?
Let's get back there now.
So white America, I call on you and your new self to say the word on behalf of these black bodies that keep dropping all over the United States. I drove 8 hours to stand here with you all, and I will stand and fight until I don't have a breath left in my body.
Okay. It is, let's move ahead here a little bit. I haven't watched this either. I watched about the last 40 minutes of this video, and I don't know, maybe Ford was having trouble, or maybe this has been taken down. Okay, here we go. All right, let's jump ahead a little bit more here. Here we go.
Because if we do it this way, then the same thing gonna happen to us over and over and over again. We gotta change legislation. So y'all gotta get involved, man. Let's keep marching. So we don't want no other families suffering after this right here, these rallies, man. So we don't need other families hurting. If they did something crazy tonight or nights after this, man. So let's be smart and be safe, all right? All right, get your fist up. Justice for? What's his name? Justice for? What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! If the Chinese don't get it, shut it down! If the Chinese don't get it, shut it down! Shut it down!
And again, we're sampling just a little bit of the 3 hour and 15-minute footage from Ford Fisher, News to Share on Facebook. NEWS, the number 2, and SHARE, News to Share on Facebook. Ford Fisher. We've had him on the show. He's everywhere. So kind enough that we can use little segments of his videos here and there. And again, we are live here. You're watching. We are live. You and I are live. This was recorded a little bit earlier and ended right around 7 o'clock. Again, the protest is ongoing. We are assuming there are no feeds at the moment.
Our street! 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 Justice for David Walker! What's his name? David Walker! What's his name? Justice for David Walker! What's his name? Justice for. When do we want? When do we want it? Hey, let's get a pause up and hold up. Let's catch up. We gotta get the group caught up. Hey, hold them up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up up front. Hold up up front. Pause. 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 Hey, pause. Pause. Fist up. Fist up. Fist up. Hey, with a fist up, means pause. So let's get them fist up. Let's get everybody up. Let's bunch up. Let's get together. Get it tight. Get it tight. The unity. Get everybody together. Everybody. Hey, come on, let me tell y'all something. We can ready to go again. We got to start.
Again, everything has been peaceful throughout the protest, and that is the goal always. And it's also the wishes of Jalen Walker's family.
Once again, I want to tear the mayor's office down too. I'm sure.
Ford may not be back on live tonight because things are going to kick off in Washington, D.C., as we've been saying on here, and we'll show in a little bit later. He may be heading back to Washington, D.C. That's his home base. Or he may come on here live. Let's
Support them in a lot of different areas. But we got to stick to the agenda. And the Walker's family agenda was peace, not violence. So that's what we're going to stick to as the community. But we want to get more community involved. All right?
And again, it's very hot out there, so the phone's getting hot. We're getting pixelation. And also probably getting into areas where the top cell phone focus isn't focused, okay?
Alright, I can handle that for a second. Handle this. I want everybody to turn around and look at what our community has done. Look at what you have done by showing up. Comfortable people do not enact change. Let's go make them uncomfortable. Comfortable people.
Hey, hey, hold the traffic. No, quit moving them. Yo, wait. Y'all gotta be inside the cars. Inside the cars. Inside the cars. I'm telling y'all. Okay, here's the way. Like 3-4 people waiting for all the time.
So as we can see, everything's been peaceful, as we hope it continues to be, as things continue to spread as far as news and information. As it continues to spread and more communities become aware of that, I'm sure Akron's going to be getting more support from communities around the country, and hopefully everything stays peacefully. That's always our wish. I'm going to hop over here into the chat real quick and say hi to Sissy. Sissy, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for posting Ford's channel too. You can go there and watch the whole 3 hours of the protest if you're so inclined. As I said, the city of Akron released they had a press conference today, and they released some still photos taken from video. And they released a partial video, and then the remaining videos were going to be released later. That's what we're going to be looking at. If you want to go back and study these, Again, this comes from the city of Akron, and it's kind of hard to find. You gotta get to where you gotta get to news releases, and it's not the most, it's not like hidden, but it's not easy to find it. But once you find it, hit news releases and then click on City of Akron press release from July 3rd, 2022. And basically it goes down through, a lot of CYA stuff in here. And they released a map of the pursuit, a timeline of the incident, a transcript of the dispatch conversation, and a description of the investigatorial process. Basic information on the officers involved, including race, gender, years of service, disciplinary record, etc. If you want to find that, that's all available right here on this press release. I just wanted to point that out to those of you that, and here's a recording of the press conference down here in a link. So with all that being said, if you click, the footage is available here. That's what we have already done. And I have not watched this. We are going to watch it together. I imagine, I've already watched the press conference. So the video is, the video is horrific. It shows Jalen Walker getting mutilated by bullets. His face is blurred out, or at least it was in the first. But this is a warning. This is not this. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure what we're going to see is not going to be for the faint of heart. So turn it off now. This is done for educational, informational purposes. This is not glorifying violence or in any way, shape, or form endorsing anything that happens within any of this video. Okay, this is just so you can see for yourself, think for yourself, and decide for yourself. That's what we do here. We give you something to think about. We don't tell you what to think or how to think. With all that being said, video may be inappropriate for some users.
On Monday, June 27th, 2022, at 12:30 in the morning, Akron police officers attempted to stop a silver Buick on East Talmadge Avenue near Thayer Street. Officers informed dispatch that the reason for the stop was for a traffic violation as well as an equipment violation. The driver of the vehicle refused to stop, and officers initiated a vehicle pursuit as the vehicle was nearing the East Talmadge Avenue entrance ramp to Route 8 southbound. Approximately 40 seconds after the driver of the vehicle fled from the attempted stop, a sound consistent with a gunshot can be heard on the body-worn cameras of the officers. Officers notified dispatch that a shot came out of the suspect's car door.
Okay, this is the same footage. The beginning of this beginning is the same beginning as what they showed in the press conference.
Getting on to 8 South from Talmadge. Reason for stop was traffic and equipment violation. Okay. 21 shots fired then.
Okay. Supposedly they heard a shot fired. We're going to run it back.
Getting on to 8 South from Talmadge. Reason
Right
for
there.
stop was traffic and equipment violation.
Right there.
Okay. 21 shots fired. That vehicle just had a shot come out of its door.
At the time of the sound, a flash of light can be seen along the driver's side of the suspect's
This is what was shown in the
vehicle.
press conference.
The vehicle pursuit continued on the expressway for several minutes, and the suspect vehicle exited onto the Archwood Avenue ramp. The pursuit proceeded through several city streets until he neared the intersection of East Wilbeth Road and Claremont Street. At that point, the driver slowed down and exited through the passenger side door of the moving vehicle wearing a ski mask. The suspect fled from the vehicle on foot, turning and facing officers momentarily. He continued to run, evading arrest. Officers attempted to safely take the suspect into custody by deploying their tasers. The deployment of tasers was unsuccessful, and the suspect continued to flee on foot. As the foot chase reached the nearby parking lot, the suspect stopped and quickly turned towards the pursuing officers. Officers reacted by discharging their firearms, striking the suspect. Under visual inspection of the suspect's vehicle, a handgun, a loaded magazine for a handgun, and what appears to be a gold wedding ring were observed in plain view on the driver's seat.
Okay. I didn't notice this one. I didn't stop it when I was watching it before, and I apologize for those of you that want to watch it. I noticed that there is no clip in the gun. The clip's on the side. That doesn't mean it wasn't in the gun, but if you're in a high-speed pursuit, anyway, there's supposedly a gold wedding ring, gun, and clip. Now, some of the information I've been getting is that his fiance had died a month or two ago, and he was despondent over that. You're going to hear lots of excuses and lots of justifications, attempted justifications for what happened. I'm just going to play it and let you decide for yourselves.
Body-worn cameras do not provide a 360-degree or three-dimensional view. We will now play 13 body-worn camera videos.
Okay, once again, before the one video I saw, am I not showing this video? Is it just me? Oh my gosh. Somebody notified me. Is this video supposed to be showing? Dang. Of course it's supposed to be showing. That's the whole purpose of this thing. Sorry about that. I really am. It's the live software. I get going and I forget that and I can't switch from screen to screen. So let me fix that. Damn it. Dang it. Darn it. And thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for watching, and thank you for letting me know. Okay, here's what I was talking about in the beginning. This is the site, Akron City, City of Akron, and you need to find news releases. And when you do, I've already talked about all this, so I'm running through it pretty quick. Down at the bottom, you'll see the press conference, and here you'll see information, more information that the police in the city are putting out. And then right here is the footage we're about to see. And we'll make sure and do this right. There we go. And let me check and make sure we are right. Okay. All right. I'm going to start it over so you can see everything. Doofus thing to do. I'm the doofus of the week at the moment.
On Monday, June 27th, 2022, at 12:30 in the morning, Akron police officers attempted to stop a silver Buick on East Talmadge Avenue near Thayer Street. Officers informed dispatch that the reason for the stop was for a traffic violation as well as an equipment violation. The driver of the vehicle refused to stop, and officers initiated a vehicle pursuit as the vehicle was nearing the East Talmadge Avenue entrance ramp to Route 8 southbound. Approximately 40 seconds after the driver of the vehicle fled from the attempted stop, a sound consistent with a gunshot can be heard on the body-worn cameras of the officers. Officers notified dispatch that a shot came out of the suspect's car door.
Getting on the 8 south of Talmadge. Reason for stop is traffic and violation. 21 shots fired. That vehicle just had a shot come out of its door.
At the time of the sound, a flash of light can be seen along the driver's side of the suspect vehicle. The vehicle pursuit continued on the expressway for several minutes, and the suspect vehicle exited onto the Archwood Avenue ramp. The pursuit proceeded through several city streets until he neared the intersection of East Wilbeth Road and Claremont Street. At that point, the driver slowed down and exited through the passenger side door of the moving vehicle wearing a ski mask. The suspect fled from the vehicle on foot, turning and facing officers momentarily. He continued to run, evading arrest. Officers attempted to safely take the suspect into custody by deploying their tasers. The deployment of tasers was unsuccessful, and the suspect continued to flee on foot. As the foot chase reached the nearby parking lot, the suspect stopped and quickly turned towards the pursuing officers. Officers reacted by discharging their firearms, striking the suspect. Under visual inspection of the suspect's vehicle, a handgun, a loaded magazine for a handgun, and what appears to be a gold wedding ring were observed in plain view on the driver's seat.
If you were, I mean, I call him a kid. He's 25 years old. And anybody anyway, that it's not meant as a deterrent or a detriment to him. He panicked, I imagine, in a high-speed chase with cops. And by the way, it's not against the law in Ohio to have a gun. He didn't have any felony convictions. He didn't have any misdemeanor convictions. He had one traffic stop on his record. If I was getting ready to get out of the vehicle, would I position? I mean, they said this is how the police found this, that these things were positioned this way. It's just a question I'm asking. Would that have happened? Would these things have been positioned this way if he was panicking and trying to flee? I mean, he was panicking. He was trying to flee. it's, I don't know. Again, all we're doing is giving you things to think about. We're not telling you what to think or how to think. But you can see the clip is obviously not in the gun.
Body-worn cameras do not provide a 360-degree or three-dimensional view. We will now play 13 body-worn camera videos.
I'm going to stop this one more time just because I really seriously don't want anyone triggered or traumatized or know what's coming is not in any way, shape, or form pleasant. Okay, this is what's coming is gruesome.
On what's on Willis Firestone, can I get in?
Still westbound on Wilbith. We're passing Evergreen. We're heading towards Maine. Looks like we have some units up ahead at the intersection of Maine. Be slowing down here, slowing down. Stop. What's your fucking head? What's your fucking head? Don't you fucking move the car! You fucking move!
Hey, don't fucking move!
Don't fucking move! Don't fucking move! Show me your hands! Show me your fucking hands!
He was obviously down. In my opinion.
602 on west on Willis with Firestone, can I get
And
in?
they kept shooting.
We're still westbound on Wilbith. We're passing Evergreen. We're heading towards Maine. Looks like we have some units up ahead at the intersection of Maine. He's slowing down here, slowing down. Slowing down. On west on Wilbith Firestone, can I get in?
Still westbound on Wilbith. We're passing Evergreen. We're heading towards Maine. Looks like we have some units up ahead at the intersection of Maine. He's slowing down here, slowing down.
I'm sorry, gang. I love you. I love you all. And there's 19 more, or there's 9 more videos, and each video shows a different angle, and each video is from a different officer, and each video's got its own. I can't do any more of this. I'm sorry. I'll put the link. Actually, I'll put the link in chat right now so you don't have to go through and find it if you want to watch. But I saw enough the first time, and there we go. If you want to watch it, it's Akron Police on YouTube, right down here in the chat. No, TF, I'm not trying to justify anything about what was done here. No, I'm just trying to show what happened and let people make up their own minds. That's what news used to be. I used to watch this guy called Walter Cronkite, and he didn't tell you to hate people. He didn't tell you to what to think or who to vote for. He presented news stories and allowed people to think for themselves, and that's sorely missing in our national media, and that's what I try to do here. Sometimes my opinion comes out, and I try to remember to say "in my opinion," because what I really do try to do on here is give people things to think about. We did an episode the other night about secret weapons that Russia potentially has. And, we can't say, I can't definitively say that they have these things, but the evidence greatly points to that, in my opinion. But there may be others that watched that and went, oh, the guy that's talking is a crackpot. And because he got silenced, and everybody that he had mentioned that had done these things had all been silenced. And when you speak truth, at times it's considered a revolutionary act. But in my opinion, there's no way this should have ever happened. Okay. Everybody's saying he has a ski mask on. Well, first of all, I was married to a Canadian. So if you happen to be watching, you're from Canada, that's not a ski mask. That's a balaclava. Okay. It's not a toboggan. Toboggan is something you go down a hill on. A ski mask is something that's worn over the nose and face during extremely cold skiing conditions. And it's not necessarily, it's a way of hiding your identity. Okay. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you don't necessarily want to be identified. Now, it's associated, of course, with robbers, with whatever, but that is going to be a big part of the excuses, the justifications, is that, well, he had a ski mask on, so he's obviously a bad guy. I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm going to give you my opinion of what I think might have happened with the wedding ring being there. This man might have been so distraught at losing his loved one that, because this was, and yeah, they don't talk about this, but this was the second police chase in 2 days. Okay, he had been involved in a police chase the night before. He might have been trying to commit suicide by cop because he was so distraught over losing his fiance. That's the only thing I can really figure out as to how all this happened. But at the same time, even if that was the case, even if, and I'm just speculating, but even if that was the case, shooting the man 60 times after the man is on the ground, continuing to shoot into the body on the ground, How do you justify that? How do you justify having police officers doing the investigations of other police officers? The 8 cops that shot are all on administrative leave with pay while the investigation is ongoing by other police officers. They're just things to think about. They're just questions I'm asking. How can you justify this? Maybe some of you can. But I can't even look at the footage anymore. Of course, I've been looking at, I spend a lot of time looking at a lot of stuff that people don't always look at or see. Some of the stuff I've seen from the conflict in Ukraine, butchering people and dogs. And I'm at the point where, man, I hope there are enough of us that are still interested in humanity, because we are getting pushed and pulled and prompted to explode and destroy each other. And if that's not evident, why did, let me go back here. If it's not evident, why did CNN not post a single thing, not a single thing about what happened to Jalen Walker? But yet, within 2 hours, had breaking news of 3 people killed in Copenhagen mall shooting. The powers that be control what we think. If all we do is watch one media source, we are being controlled by that media source, whether it be Fox, MSNBC, CNN, whatever it is. They decide what we think and what we should care about. They feed us what they think we should care about. And that's far, far, far from freedom. Instead of freedom of the press, we might ought to be looking at freedom from the press. And again, that's what we try to do on here. We try to give you things to think about, not tell you what to think or how to think. I told you a few minutes ago what I thought might have happened with the young man. It doesn't mean that's the fact. It's just a possibility. Because this wasn't a bad guy. This wasn't a thug. This wasn't a habitual criminal. This wasn't a guy selling drugs, by all accounts of the people that actually knew him and by his police record. So how did he get it? Why did he flee? Well, I understand, after seeing everything we've seen, just in the past 3 years we've been doing this, everything that we've seen happen to Black people who are driving a car. There are so many more questions than answers. So many more questions than answers. Let me hop over here into the chat for a second. And I said this last night. This is not the time for. This is not time for somebody that has no clue as to what's going on in the Black community. This is not the time for you to be asking questions or doing anything that might promote altercations. All right? Because if altercations are promoted, they're going to be promoted on purpose by white people doing it intentionally. Don't be one of those. Okay? That's all I'm asking is let the Black community have their anger, because it's justified, more than justified. And don't try to tell anybody how to feel. Okay. And that's the last thing we're doing here. Just putting it out there. It's common sense kind of stuff, but sometimes you gotta put that out there. So let me hop over here into the chat and say hello to everybody. Hello to everybody that's watching. Let me go back up here and again, thank you, Sissy. Barry just trying to show. Yeah. Yeah. Do you believe anything? Do you believe everything they say? No. No, I didn't know. I ranted there for a few minutes, as a matter of fact, that it's okay, TF, stick around. It's okay to question things too. You know, it's perfectly fine. In night, yeah, man, or person, I'm sorry. I started, I can't watch any more of it. It got a bit much, and 9 more views. Thank you all for understanding. Approximately 100 rounds. This is from Fred. Hello, Fred. 100 rounds fired at a man without a gun. That is ridiculous. It is. I thought so too, Philly. That's just my opinion, that the firearm was suspiciously placed. Down South TV, what's up? How you doing? Christopher Woodward, news was always tainted for white people. Chickens are just coming home to roost. I'm not gonna argue on that. When you're a revolutionary, they want you under live. They want to undermine you. My mom watched Walter Cronkite. Etta, yeah, it was. Let me think. Back when I was a kid, it was Walter Cronkite. Chet Huntley and David Brinkley, and the Huntley-Brinkley report was on one of the networks. Walter Cronkite was on the other. And I think that's all we got. We got those 2 channels and something called Channel 4, an independent local channel out of Indianapolis that used to have Sammy Terry and Popeye and Janie and the Cartoon Corral and stuff like that. You don't neutralize the threat by putting a lot of shot. No, that was, yeah. It doesn't take 60 shots for trained people to neutralize it all. No. Diane McClain, that's my only thing too. I think he was probably, he panicked. I mean, who knows what was going through his head? But if he was going to commit suicide by cop, I would think he would have kept the gun and kept shooting. But we don't know, and I don't think we'll ever know. That's just one of the possibilities, and it's the one I'm leaning towards simply because, like it or not, men get hurt more when a relationship ends in a breakup. Men get hurt more emotionally than women do. Women are like, screw him, I'll go find somebody else. Guys take it harder, and when the person dies, coming up on 2 years of losing Kate. When your partner dies, it's different. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't watch the news anymore. Over 2 years now. I glance at it to see what they're talking about, but most of the time when I click on, I've talked about it 2 days before, up until I started getting censored real heavy, and there are things I can't talk about, and I've mentioned a lot of them. And after there aren't going to be any commercials on this, and it shouldn't get taken down or struck against for community standards, because this episode is for information and educational purposes. It's to show people what happened, and and it's not for glorifying violence or anything else. I know, people that it's not going to reach commercial standards. I'm okay with that. I knew that going in. But if you'd like to help, the program, you can do so through the Cashapp $American-Dufus. But that's not, I'm sorry, I lost my track. It's not about black and white. It's about good and evil. We used to know that. We did used to know that, Diane. You're right. And I was thinking the other day, truth used to be important. Truth used to really be important. Truth used to really matter in our country. Abraham Lincoln wrote, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's the beginning of his Gettysburg Address. Truth used to matter. Now it's about how big of a lie can we get people to believe? And it's not a black or white thing. It's not a male-female thing. It's not a gay-straight thing. It's not a believer in a faith and an atheist thing. It is a very high-powered group of very wealthy people that know that the resources of the world will run out unless people are eliminated. And the easiest thing for them to do is get us to eliminate each other first. And if we're not going to do that, they got plenty of ways to eliminate us. Now, does all this also fit into biblical prophecy, including the revelation of Jesus Christ given to John on the island of Patmos? Yeah, it all does, in my opinion. Thank you, DCNP. Pat Tolliver, how are you? When corruption reaches the top, the people will suffer. It's there. It's at the top. It's above the top. It's a point where God may be the only, and God is always the only solution or the ultimate solution, but it may be a point where we have to have a holy intervention and ask God to give us some more time and remove the evil, because we all stumble, we all sin, we all make mistakes, we all make bad choices, but we're not all evil. But my goodness, there's a lot of evil in the world. There are a lot of people that are evil, and too many of them are becoming powerful and in powerful places. But we know, if we study scripture, that is going to happen, whether we like it or not. It doesn't mean we have to, it doesn't mean we shouldn't fight it. And while the battles that are coming near are physical, earthly battles, there's plenty of room for spiritual warfare, in my opinion. And just because it's a Sunday, might as well mention that as well. Keep loving your heart. That's good advice, Diane. That's good advice. I do want to do one more thing here real quick. If you'll bear with me just a second. I'm going to pull up your YouTube, and I have a feeling that the 1776 Restoration Movement, which is basically an umbrella that a lot of the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, 3%ers, they can't go by those names anymore, because those names have really bad connotations, and they will get you arrested. So now it's the 1776 movement. And I've been talking about this in the past couple of videos. I hope you've seen that. Oh, there, that's me. All 13 body-worn camp. Okay. I just want to see. I have a feeling they might have pulled out of their camp, and they're going to try to station tonight in Washington, D.C. And I just want to see, you know, last night when we went through this, or the night before, there were at least 4 people broadcasting of what was going on with the what was going on with the 1776 movement. And now I'm not seeing anything. See the great. Okay, I have missed this. Over 60 people shot, 15 fatally in violent holiday weekend in Chicago, and we still got Sunday night and Monday all day. Hopefully, it doesn't add to that, but geez, too much hate, too much, not enough love, and I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything from the. I imagine they've headed into DC, which I think I said in the last episode that the plan was to go in after dark and set up and establish an area, and then reinforcements and people just could keep coming in until they get to a place of power where they're going to, I'm not even going to talk about what they say they're going to do, because it's just absolutely absurd. But we're going to be monitoring it, and I may be back on live yet tonight, and we'll be watching it all tomorrow. But there's nothing on here from them. Not a single post of what's happening in the 1776 movement. So the QAnon people have gone quiet. The far right extremists, white supremacists, are going to be in DC tomorrow. A vast majority of them. If you're in that Beltway area around DC, be aware. Okay. There are hate-filled people everywhere, and no matter where you're at tomorrow, be aware. I do know that tomorrow in Akron, Ohio, they are going to protest during the day at the mayor's house. So I'll be back on tomorrow for sure. I'm not sure what time yet. Depends on what happens. I'm not sure if it's going to be live or if it's going to be a recorded report. It depends on what happens. So please hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell for notifications so you do know when we're back on. Hit the like. The more likes we get, well, this one's not going to get promoted anyway. We know that, so don't worry. But do hit the like, get in the habit of it. And if you're watching the replay, leave a comment below. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for your understanding and for putting up with me for as long as you have. I love you all. That's sincere. I may be back yet tonight, depending on what we know and what we learn. If not, I love you all. Take care of yourselves. I said this the other night, but if you're going to shoot off fireworks, do so safely. Don't be under the influence of anything. You got to be on your toes, because those things can malfunction and people get hurt really bad. And don't want to see that happen to anybody, especially those of you watching, because I love you. We will be back Hit the subscribe so you know when it is. Somebody described the young man, Jayland Walker, as a black light. I don't know if you heard that in the beginning of Ford Fisher's video there, but the man said this was a guy that was a black light, that he comes from a good family. He was a good person. Try to be a light. Try to be a light. It's a world full of darkness. We need more light. It's hot. Temperatures are going to be hot tomorrow. Stay cool. Crazy people. Be safe. Like Diana said earlier. Yeah, Fred, you're exactly right. When they go silent, that's when we need to watch, and that's what I'll be doing the rest of the night. World full of hate, try to fill your heart with love, like Diane reminded us. So until next time, I love y'all. Thank you for watching. Peace. Namaste. Shalom. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Blessings in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, the Son of the one true Most High God, who gave us the Holy Spirit to guide and protect us. Let's hold on to all that, fellow Christians. It's a dark